what's up? AKA JS Sugar 21 here. Today I'm gonna come at you with a Q&A. So if you guys want to see, just keep on watching. So today I have a Q&A for all of you. I wrote down all of the questions in my school notebook. There is a lot of questions, so I'm gonna try to get through this quickly. Got my fiance's glasses on. They're the keys. And I got my little baby hairs growing out from when I dyed my hair. But anyways. Alright, so I pulled some of these questions from my YouTube channel, some from my Instagram, some from my Facebook, and I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is from Tonio. And they said, hello, I've been subscribed to your YouTube channel for a few weeks now, and it's given me faith that I'll do great in my respiratory therapy program. I got my acceptance letter today, and I am very nervous but excited. Do you have any suggestions, pointers, tips, etc.? So, congratulations first for getting accepted into the respiratory therapy program. And I would say that I was nervous as well. That's very normal. And some tips is that I would make sure that I had all my supplies ready, all my school supplies. And if you need a tip on that, you can go check my school supplies video, and I can give you some tips on what supplies you might need for the respiratory therapy program. I would say just make sure you have everything in place. Make sure you have your support, your family, your friends, whoever is surrounding you. Make sure they're all on board with you, and you let them know that you need their full support during this program, because it is very stressful, it is time consuming, and you might not have a life anymore. So your friends and your family definitely have to understand that, and things are definitely going to change. Your time is going to be extremely limited. I would say get plenty of rest. I would say enjoy this time before your program. Go out on your vacations before the program. Take a little trip, a little road trip. Go to the beach, the mountains, wherever, and enjoy yourself before the program starts. Because yes, once the program starts, it is going to be stressful. You are going to cry. It is going to be hard. Okay, next question. Michael, how is pharm there? Meaning, dang it, I can't even think. Pharmacology. Do your PowerPoints have key points on them on RCP 100? So for RCP 100, if that is the pharmacology, what my teacher did, which is amazing, she gave us the homework, which was like little quizzes that were exactly the same thing as the quiz. So all we had to do was memorize our quizzes, and we were good to go. So our pharmacology teacher was amazing. The way she structured her class and the way that she structured the quizzes and her study guides and everything was amazing, on point. So that's how my teacher did it. I don't know if that's how all the teachers do it and all the pharmacology programs, but that's how my teacher did it. So it was easy A for me. Okay, next question. Carmen, what term are you in? So I am in term 2, and I have 9 more weeks left of this term. And our terms are 15 weeks long, and then we get a 1-week break, and that's how it goes. And we get 5 terms in total. And it's a 19-month program. Okay, next question. Hannah, how do you like the school? So SJBC, I like the school. I haven't had any problems with the school. You know, we have to be in uniform. It's very strict about our uniforms, which I don't mind because I love scrubs. I love being in my scrubs. So for every class, we have to be in our scrubs. We have to have our patch sewed on. I love structure, and I love it when there's that structure. So I think our school has a lot of good structure and a lot of good rules, and I don't mind that. I love that. The teachers are amazing. The clinical director is amazing. The program director is amazing. I feel like all the teachers are easy to talk to, easy to go to. I haven't had any problems with any of the teachers, and yeah, I love them. I love the teachers. I love the program, the school. I think it's amazing. Next question. Beautiful disaster. Interview process and advice for finals. So the interview process, it is very nerve-wracking. I was so nervous to go do that interview because that's basically like your last step before actually getting in. So first you go take the test, and then after you take that test, then you pass the test. Now you're gonna have an interview. Then you'll have your interview, and you get to choose like 2 different days, and then they choose one of those and the time. So the interview process, you just go in there. You have to go in there dressed professionally, not in your scrubs. You know, you dress professional with your slacks and your button-up shirt, black skirt, white blouse, whatever, professionally dressed. You go in there and they basically they actually email you all the questions or all the things that they want you to research and know before going to the interview. So when you get to that interview, you have to know everything in that email that they made sure that you should know. So basically they want to ask you, what do you know about respiratory therapy? What do respiratory therapists do? And why do you want to do respiratory therapy? And, you know, all those questions. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you hear about the program? All of those type of questions. And advice for finals. So advice for finals, I would definitely say study. If you could stay up till 10 p.m., if you know that you have to get up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., make sure you get your 8 hours of sleep. Or if you're just a person that needs 7 hours of sleep, get your 7 hours of sleep. But make time to study. Definitely make that time to study. Make flashcards. Do Quizlet. Quizlet helped me out a lot, and flashcards helped me out a lot. Read the book. Go into the book and make notes out of each chapter, and that's going to help you out a whole lot. Now this question is from Rena. Students don't have to get vaccinated anymore for schools or clinicals. What classes are you taking right now? So basically she's asking if the students have to get vaccinated to be in the school and to be in the program and to do clinicals. So when I did my interview process, the director told me that if I didn't get vaccinated, then I would not be able to graduate. So I told her if I have to get the vaccine, then I will. But if not, I don't want to get it. So I got accepted into the program. I did not need my vaccine to get into the program. So once the clinical director in second term came in, he kind of spoke to us and told us there's certain hospitals that will only allow vaccinated students, and then there's certain hospitals that will allow anyone. So, but it's very limited, and it's low, like a small amount of hospitals that will allow the unvaccinated. So that's why they want everyone to get vaccinated, because then you have more options, and they don't have that difficulty to place you into the places that are very limited. But it's not like you won't graduate. It just means that it might be very difficult for you to get all your hours in because we get like 275 or 220, between 225 and 275 hours per semester, and that's extra. but we only have to complete a certain amount per semester. So they give us extra, so just in case if we have a sick day, our car breaks down, etc., we have that kind of accessibility or that leeway to miss a few days. So that's our program. I'm not sure about other programs though. Next question, Simply Nani. Can you talk about student loans, how much you study, how you juggle everything while being a mom? So, first of all, student loans. So my program is $40,000. So I definitely had to apply for financial aid and I had to apply for student loans. And when it came down to it, the financial aid and the student loans covered half of my tuition. And then while I'm in the program, there's going to be the first 9 months I don't pay anything. The second 9 months I pay $300 and almost $400 a month. And then the following 9 months I don't pay anything. And then the 6 months after I graduate is when I start doing the payments again. So by the time I graduate, I'm only going to owe between $10,000 and $15,000, which is not bad to me. So that's my case. And of course, it's very, very different for each student and each person because it goes based off of your income. So I was working a job at the school district. I was a substitute teacher's aide. So I did have some income. So I had to turn in my income taxes for the past year or something like that. So they went based off of my income taxes, and then that's how they came up with a plan for me, a financial aid plan, a loan plan, all of that. Next one was, how much do you study? So I would say that I put in 10 to 12 hours a day if I'm not in class or if I'm not working. If I'm working, then I might put in 8 hours a day. If I'm in class, I might put, depending what time I get out of class. So this semester, I get out early. So I'm putting in at least 6 hours a day in studying. And then how do I juggle everything between being a mom and all of that? So I think that's when your family comes into play. So my mom is basically my babysitter. Right now is the summer and school is out. So my oldest is 13, so he's able to stay home by himself. But my daughter and my son, they do go with their grandma whenever I am in class and when my fiance is working. If he's not working, if he's at home, then he'll take care of the kids, whatever. Yeah. And so when I get home, sometimes I have to take my daughter to gymnastics. Then I have to take my son to football practice. So then my fiance will help me. He'll take one and I'll take the other, or he'll take them, I'll pick them up. You know, we work it out between each other. And then some nights he'll cook, some nights I'll cook. So we take turns between doing that too. The next person, R4 Lady. How was the placement test and what did it cover? So the placement test was hard. It had a lot of science in it, and I'm not good at science, but there's a specific book that they tell you to get. Health Occupational Skills Test, something like that. So you get that book, you order it on Amazon. I ordered mine on Amazon and I studied it. My foot is falling asleep. So my school basically told me to get that book and study it. And then once felt like I was ready, to give them a call and let them know that I was ready to take the test. And then they assign you, or they ask you, when do you want to take the test? And then you schedule yourself in to take the test. The test is anywhere from 3 hours to 4 hours. So it is a very long test. And their computers ended up messing up. Their internet ended up messing up. So they actually gave us a second try on it. But since I scored good the first time, I didn't have to retake it. So I scored really high on the science, and I scored really high on the spelling, because it's English, spelling, vocabulary, math, science, and then there's a portion on your morals and your ethics. So it will ask you questions about what would you do if a family member is dying and you have to unplug them, and the doctor is telling you to unplug them, and then the son or the parent is telling you not to. What do you do? Do you listen to the doctor or do you listen to the family? So yeah, you have to answer those type of questions also. So I scored pretty high on that part too, the ethics. And then once you take the test, then you get the results in an email. You'll get the results within like 3 days, three days to a week. I can't remember exactly, but like you'll get your results in the email, and it'll tell you right there all of your levels, exactly how much points you got on each section. Another thing about the placement test is that it doesn't mark you wrong if you got an answer wrong. It kind of marks you more on your time, how much time you took to take the test. So our student advisor, he just said go as quickly as possible, because the more questions you answer, the more points you get, and it doesn't mark you wrong if you got the answer wrong, or it doesn't take too much points if you got the answer wrong, something like that. So it does grade you on your time, how much time you take answering a question. So sometimes you just gotta go as fast as you can, and you gotta guess as fast as you can, because it will grade you on your time. Okay, next question from Liliana Angel. What does your schedule look like? How many days do you go to school? Class from what time to what time? Okay, so first question, what does your schedule look like? So right now I'm going to school Mondays and Tuesdays 7:30 to 12:05, and then Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8:15 to 11:05, something like that. So yep, that's what my schedule looks like. And so I go to school 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, but of course I'm in school on Friday because I study on Fridays. I'm taking fundamentals of respiratory therapy. I'm taking the practice clinical lab. I'm taking 4 classes. I'm taking chemistry, and then I'm also taking the pathophysiology. So I'm taking those 4 classes. Okay, next question from JMJ. Do you find it's too fast-paced? Yes. Yes for some classes and no for other classes. So our practice clinical lab, super easy. The pathophysiology, that one, it's a lot of information that we have to learn in such little time. Sometimes he'll lecture on it one day, and then the next day we'll have a quiz on it. So what I do is I look ahead and I say, okay, what am I going to be quizzed on next week? And I'll try to study ahead of time, even if it's 1 or 2 days before we start lecturing. I'll do that, because we have these SAQs, self-assessment questions, before we lecture. So he'll have us do a self-assessment question like maybe that Friday before, Monday before he lectures. So that'll give us like 3 days before lecture, so we can go into the chapter and read it and then answer the self-assessment questions. So sometimes when I do the self-assessment questions, I'm just looking for the answers and I'm not really reading the whole entire chapter. But lately I've been doing the self-assessment questions, and then I'll go back and go through the chapter and write notes on the chapter and look at the PowerPoints, because he also gives us the PowerPoints. So I'll also look at the PowerPoints, and whatever's not on the PowerPoints, I'll go look at the book, and then I'll grasp more information from the book. Because for pathophysiology, the teacher will add in stuff that are not on the PowerPoint. So now it's like I'm forced to go to the book and make sure I read the whole entire chapter and before I take that quiz. Next question, Samantha Moore. Would you recommend SJBC? How are the programs there? Is it a good school? So I kind of answered this earlier. Yes, yes, and yes. And I do recommend SJBC if you have the money, if you're willing to apply for those student loans. If you think that it won't be a financial burden for you, then yes. But if you like, no, I cannot afford it, there's no way on earth that I can afford it, I don't want to ruin my credit, I don't want student loans on my credit, I don't want to stress about working and being in the program, all of that, then I would just say go to a community college, get financial aid, and you know what I mean? And you won't be stuck with student loans. You won't be stuck with having to work and be in the program, which our program director, she worked throughout the whole entire program, and she has her bachelor's. She also got her bachelor's. So you can do it. So you could definitely do it. And I think this is the last question. This is the last question from Anna Graciela. How are you enjoying the RT program? Pros and cons. How did your first semester go? Would you say the instructors are okay? Does it depend how you qualify for financial aid, or is it for everyone? Are you able to waive paying monthly? So first of all, how are you enjoying the RT program? Well, it is very stressful. It is fast-paced. But I do love that it is going fast. I love that they do not require the prerequisites, because that's just time wasted for me. I don't want to have to waste my time. So what are the pros? The pros are that it's fast paced. Second pro is that our general ed classes, some of them are 6 weeks, and they're all online. So that's another pro. And the school is good. The teachers are good. Some might say they don't like the teachers' teaching methods, but if you just read the book, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn a lot just by reading the book. If you go over your PowerPoints, you're gonna learn. If you pay attention in class, you're gonna learn. So there's that. Cons. The only con is the amount of money that I'm going to spend to be in this program. That's the only con I have. Well, and the stress. I can definitely say that having a lecture and then a quiz on that lecture the next day, that's a con. Very, very stressful. You have to be able to learn fast and grasp things very quickly. So my first semester was very stressful because it's your first semester. You don't know what to expect. I got a couple F's on my quizzes and I freaked out. I thought, oh no, I got an F. I'm going to fail. I'm not going to pass the semester. I'm going to have to repeat it. So yeah, it was very stressful the first semester because I didn't know what to expect. The first week was very stressful. But after I started getting to know the teachers and their teaching methods and how they quiz, piece of cake. The teachers do have different teaching methods, but for me, I am a fast learner and I always try different methods. Sometimes I'll record the lecture, sometimes I'll just print out the PowerPoints and listen and just write down extra things that are not on the PowerPoints. Sometimes I'll write the PowerPoints out before I get to class so that way I can just listen. So I do different methods to see what works for me. And it does depend how you qualify for financial aid because they ask you to bring in your W-2s and your income taxes returns. So yes, it does depend. financial aid, there are specific Pell grants and certain grants that go to everyone regardless. So there was one check that everybody got a $900 check, and they were able to do whatever they wanted with that money. So I ended up taking the check and buying extra supplies that I wanted. So they gave us a stethoscope, but I wanted to buy my own stethoscope. So I ended up ordering my own on Amazon. So if you go to my school supplies video, you'll be able to see my stethoscope and all my supplies that I got. And are you able to waive paying monthly? So they did tell me that if I did have any problems, financial problems, that I can go to the financial aid office and let them know if they could lower it down the payment, or if they could put it on hold where I don't have to pay for a month or something like that. So they said if you are having issues, you can go in there and you can request for lowering your payments or whatever if it's not working for you, and they will work with you. So that is something that they did let me know. I haven't went in there to lower my payments. I haven't even started paying yet. I don't pay until August or September, and we are in July. So I think, yeah, I start paying in August. So next month is when I start paying, and I'll find out how that process goes once that comes, and I'll be able to let you guys know if I had any issues or if I wanted to lower anything down, etc., etc. And I do have a car payment right now, and I have a lot of bills right now, so I could definitely look into seeing if they can lower down my payments. Okay guys, so that's all of the questions. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give me a great big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell located right next to it so you get notified the next time I post. And my next video upload will be things I wish I knew before RT school. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.